Hello, welcome back dear students. Welcome back to our e-learning sessions. This e-learning session initiated by Sri Vidyadis Vidya Sankul under the guidance of Dr. J.M. Sutaria sir. And welcome back to our subject SPCC. We are discussing chapter number first, that is the issue of shares of the part 2, that is secretarial practice, and this is our lecture number 5. In previous 4 sessions, we discussed each and everything about the issue of shares. First of all, let me remind you that in the initial and first lecture, we discussed about the introduction of the secretarial practice and issue of shares, in which we discussed about the red herring prospectus, normal prospectus, and procedure of this issue of shares. Then in second session, we started our session with the procedure for share application, which is basically divided into 4 stages of share application procedure. First one is the opening of a bank account, that is escrow account, which should be opened by a particular company in a recognized bank so that they can accumulate the amount in it. Then second one was the receiving share application. These banks, which are the recognized banks for the share application and SBA process, they will submit the received application to the syndicate member, and syndicate member forward this list to the registrar of shares. Then third one is the classification of share applications on the basis of categories like retail category, high net worth individual, institutional investors, and employees. And the registrar of issue makes a list according to the category of the share application received. And then on fourth point, we had discussion regarding the share application and statement of share allotment that should be submitted to the recognized depository so that they can credit the share into the accounts of the different shareholders who are able to receive the share through the share allotment process. So this was the procedure of share application, which we discussed in lecture number 2nd. Then in third lecture, we discussed about the procedure of share allotment. That is, if what? More than share application received than expected. What will be the procedure when the share application received less than expected? And what will be the share allotment procedure when the share application received is exactly same as the share application expected? And there are different 8 steps that we discussed as per the share allotment procedure. In previous session, that is in lecture number 4, we had discussion regarding the legal restrictions and provisions on share allotment. We discussed all the things about the share call, share application money, and matters and legal restrictions related to it. Today we are going to start with the point number 1.4, that is irregular and illegal allotment of shares. Irregular and illegal allotment of shares. It may possible sometimes in a hectic schedule or due to some of the negligence and ignorance towards some of the specific matters, provisions and sections related to either SEBI Act or any other act, we omitted some of the processes or we forget to follow the process, then it becomes the irregular share allotment. While the second one, that is the illegal share allotment, is the share allotment which is illegal from the starting, and there are so many circumstances that are affected the allotment or illegal allotment of shares. So it is on page number 88, point number 1.4, that shows the irregular and illegal allotment of share, amongst which point number 1.4.1, meaning and circumstances meaning and circumstances of irregular share allotment. I hope you are writing all these things even in your concept book also. See, basically I know this subject is very newer to you, but anyhow we have to study, and if you take or if you get some interest in it, then it will become a very easy subject for you, because I have seen that there are so many students who grab the maximum marks even in SPCC subject also. The highest record up till the day from my teaching is 98 marks out of 100 marks. So you may also able to get this many marks by the way of constant practice and by getting some interest in it. Now here we are going to discuss from irregular and illegal. First of all, we will discuss about the meaning and circumstances of irregular, that what is irregular share allotment and which are the circumstances in which the share allotment process becomes irregular. First one is meaning. Meaning of irregular share allotment. Irregular allotment of shares is when shares are allotted without fulfilling statutory provisions and restrictions. So here we are writing that without fulfilling statutory provisions and restrictions. Now remember point number 1.3. In point number 1.3 we discussed about the legal restrictions and provisions of share allotment. It may possible that due to some of the limitations or ignorance or negligence, without fulfilling statutory provisions and restrictions, the share allotment process is done without fulfilling these provisions and legal restrictions that are given over here on page number 88, point number 1.3. So in that process it is not illegal to allot the shares, but it is irregular to allot the shares, because here we omitted the process or the legal restrictions or legal procedures. Discuss it in a detailed manner so that you will be able to understand each and everything in a very clear terms. Share allotment is known as irregular allotment under the following circumstances. Main topic is meaning and circumstances. Here we discussed meaning. Now we are going to discuss about the circumstances in which we can say that there is irregular share allotment is done. Share allotment is known as irregular allotment under the following circumstances. First one is shares are allotted without receiving minimum subscription. First and foremost legal restriction regarding the IPO and share allotment is that company should receive minimum subscription anyhow. And if in any of the case the company is not able to receive minimum subscription, then there should be some kind of underwriters with whom the company had made some kind of agreement, and based on these agreements they receive minimum subscription. But here in this case the company is not able to fulfill the basic requirement, that is they are not able to receive the minimum subscription, then also they proceed further and they allotted the shares. So in this case, when this particular situation comes into the notice of the SEBI or any other regulatory authority, then it becomes irregular share allotment. So first one is the shares are allotted without receiving minimum subscription. Second point, a copy of prospectus is not filed with registrar of companies and SEBI. Basically, it is the basic provision that before we move forward or move further, first of all we have to submit a copy of prospectus. Prospectus means the invitation to public or subscribing in share. So if we forget or somehow we omitted that a copy of prospectus is not filed with registrar, because it is obvious that before we move further we have to compulsorily submit the copy of prospectus to the SEBI and registrar of companies, and after that we can go into the public. But here in this case we forget to submit the copy, and hence we are out of the legal restriction, and hence this becomes the irregular share allotment. Third, the minimum 5% of face value of share or the amount decided by SEBI is not received with application. See, this third point is reference with the point number 9 of the legal restriction and provision of share allotment. In point number 9 of legal restriction and provision of share allotment, we discussed that a minimum of 5% of the face value of shares or the amount decided by SEBI must be called up. So here somehow we forget to follow that process also. The minimum 5% of face value share, it means we received the money less than 5% or decided by the SEBI. If you receive more than 5% or the amount decided by SEBI, then it is not irregular share allotment, because you have fulfilled the procedure and legal restrictions. But here in this case you received money less than what is given in a legal provision, so it becomes irregular share allotment. Point number 4, that is on page number 89. Escrow bank account is not opened with a scheduled bank. Basically, it is the very first step. Whenever we are issuing a share, we have to compulsorily open one separate account, that is the escrow account in the name of the company, with a scheduled commercial bank, so that we receive all the amount of the share application on that particular account, and once each and every process regarding the refund, allotment and whatever it is done with that particular account, the remaining amount will be transferred to the real or the regular account of the company. But here in this case somehow we haven't followed the procedure. It means we are failed to open an escrow account with any particular scheduled bank. Sometimes it may happen that we are receiving the application on a normal bank account which is already or existing bank account of the particular company. Then in that case also it becomes irregular share allotment, and all the process will get terminated at the same time or cease or stop. Fifth one is listing agreement is not made with recognized stock exchange. Basically, at the time of prospectus issuance, or we can say at the time of when you comes to the public, you have to compulsorily make listing agreement with the recognized stock exchange. There are some of the provisions is there. If you haven't made any kind of agreement to the particular recognized stock exchange at the time of issuance of IPO, then also before allotment somehow you have to make such agreement with the recognized stock exchange. But in this process, in these circumstances, you totally ignore the agreement with the recognized stock exchange, and hence it attracts the irregular share allotment process. Sixth one is agreement is not made with depository. See, these are the circumstances which we studied under the legal restrictions and provisions of share allotment. Like this third point is of the minimum 5% of face value is from the 9th point. Then escrow bank account is in the procedure of the share application. Fifth one is listing agreement. That is the point number 10 in legal restriction and provisions. So here we breach that particular provision and hence it is irregular allotment. Point number 11 of the legal restriction and provision of share allotment is regarding the respective depository which we fail to make an agreement and hence it becomes irregular share allotment. Point number 7, shares are allotted without observing guidelines issued by SEBI and provisions of Companies Act. So in all these situations, that is in legal restrictions and provisions of share allotment, basically the process of issuance of share, the process of share allotment should be done in accordance with the provisions and restrictions decided or declared by the SEBI and the Companies Act, whichever may be appropriately fit. But in these circumstances, the 7th circumstances says that shares are allotted without observing guidelines issued by SEBI and provisions of Companies Act. It means here you have decided all the procedure in an erratic manner. That is, you done all the procedure by your own way and you haven't taken care regarding the provisions and different kinds of restrictions given either in SEBI Act or in Companies Act. 8th and last circumstances is that information given in prospectus is misleading or incorrect. It is obvious that because the prospectus is the mirror of a company. Through the prospectus, the third party, that is the valuers, shareholders, experts, opinion leaders, or even the investors can know about the company. If any of the information in the prospectus found misleading or inappropriate, because at the time of making a prospectus you have to write down each and everything in a very clearly manner. If your plant and machinery is in a work in progress manner, then you have to write down that plant and machinery is in the working progress stage. If the specific kind of agreement is not done with the recognized stock exchange and depository, then you have to compulsorily mention that thing. If you haven't done any kind of agreements with the guarantor, that is the underwriters and lead managers and book runners, then also you have to write down all these things. You have to show the syndicate members, registrar of the issue, each and everything in a very properly manner in the different columns decided by the SEBI. But if in a case all this information which found misleading or incorrect at the time of checking it, then it attracts the irregular share allotment. Hence these are the 8 circumstances where we can say that the share allotment procedure is irregular. Now let us discuss next point, that is the effects of irregular share allotment. Point number 1.4.2. Effects of irregular share allotment. Meaning and circumstances of irregular share allotment and then effects of irregular share allotment. Now here, first thing comes to our mind that if there is irregular share allotment is done either by negligence or by will of the board of directors or any of the dignitaries, then the whole process will be failed and the investors will have to suffer. It is not the case, because in any of the circumstances the innocent investors will not have to suffer, because there is specific provisions and regulations given in SEBI Act or even in a Companies Act regarding this irregular share allotment. Now let us discuss the effect that if this kind of irregular share allotment is done and it comes into the mind or comes into the notice of the authorities after some time, then what are the different steps that can be taken, or what will be the effects and outcomes when such process is taken place. When allotment of shares is irregular, applicant can get the allotment cancelled at his option and can get the refund to the amount paid on shares. Now, once this process comes into the contact or comes into the notice of the some of the authority, then they become an applicant in the court of the law, and they request the court of law to cancel the whole process and refund the money to the investors. But it is the extreme case, it is the extreme end when the whole process gets cancelled and the money will be refunded to the shareholders. But there are so many intermediaries ways also to come out of this irregular share allotment process. When allotment of shares is irregular, applicant can get the allotment cancelled. It means the person, the authority who have filed the particular suit or case against the company at his option. It means it is solely dependent on the applicant whether he or she wants to cancel the whole process or not at his option, and can get the refund of the amount paid on shares, and they get all the amount which they paid as an investor in the particular company. It is important to note that in case of irregular allotment, the applicant can get the allotment cancelled if any loss has been incurred by him due to this allotment. Now see that I said you in advance that particular cancellation of the whole process is an extreme stage. It is not right in all the cases, or in every case of the irregular allotment it is not compulsory to cancel the whole process. See, here it is given. It is important to note that in case of irregular allotment, it means when it comes to the point or comes in the notice of any of the shareholder or share broker or any of the authority or whomsoever it may be. But it should be noted that in case of irregular allotment, the applicant can get the allotment cancelled if, it means there is also one condition associated over here, is that any loss has been incurred by him due to this allotment. Clearly said that if any of the financial, physical, intellectual, whatever loss is caused to the applicant, then and then the applicant can sue or can go into the case, go into the court of law for the cancellation of whole process. The time limit for the same is as under. For that also the time limit is given. It is not that once the allotment is done, the company is registered with the particular stock exchange and the stock exchange has listed the shares of the company and everything is going in an easy manner, and after 2 or 3 years that particular things comes to in the notice of that particular shareholder and they wants to cancel the whole process. It is not the case. There is specific time period and specific rules and regulations attached with it, and compulsorily each and everyone has to follow it. First one is application for cancellation of share allotment can be made within 2 months of the first statutory meeting. It means once each and every process is done, share is getting listed in the stock exchange, and first statutory meeting of the board of directors or the concerned parties is done or held, then the application for cancellation of share allotment can be made within 2 months of the first statutory meeting. About all these statutory meetings we are going to discuss on chapter number 7 and the last chapter of your part 2. So at that time we will discuss all these provisions in a detailed manner. It is not the case that whenever this kind of process is going on, at the same time you cannot find out that whether this process is irregular or illegal. It comes to the notice afterwards when we are matching each and every activity with the provisions. when we are trying to find out the errors and mistakes at that time, this kind of thing is happening. Hence, the SEBI gives 2 months after the first statutory meeting held. Second, within 2 months of allotment of shares, if allotment was done after first statutory meeting. Now, in case the first statutory meeting of the board of directors along with the different authorities and dignitaries is held, and after that some time period, by fulfilling all the requirements they allotted the shares, then particular time period will be restricted to 2 months after allotment of share. Basically, in this case, whichever is higher, or we can say whichever time period is more than the specific time period, then that will be taken into consideration. Second point says that within 2 months of allotment of share. Now, the first condition is that within 2 months after statutory meeting. But what in case the statutory meeting held before the allotment, and after this statutory meeting it almost 1 or 2 months taken for the allotment of share, then the particular time period is already passed. So in that case, when the statutory meeting held before the allotment of shares, then the time period will be counted from the day of allotment of shares up to the 2 months. Within 2 months of allotment of shares, if allotment was done after the first statutory meeting. Third, director is personally responsible to compensate the loss to the company of shareholder if he willfully violates the provisions of statutory allotment or allows others to violate them. The process of recovery of such a loss must be initiated within 2 years of the allotment of shares. Now here the next thing, that is the third effect, is given like that. A director is personally responsible to compensate the loss of the company. It means at the time of allotment of shares or at the time of the whole process, the director knows each and everything about the provisions and regulations of that particular procedure. Then also, either through negligence or by its willful fraud or scam, he is not informing the company and to the legal authorities regarding the situation or the circumstances or the process of the particular thing. It means a single person is liable for all the irregular allotment. Here it is clearly given that a director is personally responsible. Basically, a single director is not personally responsible in case of the irregular share allotment when all the directors or board of directors agrees to one particular procedure. But when this will happen that a director is personally responsible to compensate the loss to the company. Now, once this irregular share allotment is done and each and every process is cancelled, company has to suffer a very loss in the kind of cost of capital issue by the way of different agreements with the different authorities. They have to compulsorily pay different kind of commission decided. Then printing and expenses related to advertisement of prospectus, fees paid to the syndicate members and other authorities, all this is the loss for the company. Director is personally responsible to compensate the loss of the company or shareholder, either company or to the shareholder, if he willfully violates provisions of statutory allotment. He is by his will, he is knowing all these things, and then also he keep mum and not included in any of the process or not stop anyone to doing or indulging in this kind of irregular share allotment, then or allows other to violate them. Either he personally indulge in these particular activities or allows other to do the same time in his personal observation. The process of recovery of such. Now, in this case, he has to pay each and every expense, each and every loss caused to the company or even to the shareholders. And the process of recovery of such a loss must be initiated within 2 years of allotment of shares. So it can be done within 2 years. So maximum time limit for the cancellation of all process is 2 years only. Now here in all this case, we discussed that all the process get cancelled, so it means it will cause a loss to the company or even to the shareholders. Now the second point, that is illegal share allotment. Here in this particular point of irregular and illegal allotment of shares, we discussed the first point, that is irregular share allotment, in which we discussed about the meaning of irregular share allotment along with the circumstances, and lastly we discussed about the effects of the share allotment. Now let us move towards the next point. That is the point number 1.4.3 is illegal share allotment. Allotment of shares is considered illegal under the following circumstances. So, whatever we say is meaning or circumstances is already included in the illegal share allotment. So, first of all, we'll discuss about the circumstances of illegal share allotment. Share allotment is a contract between a shareholder and the company. Basically, whenever a particular shareholder is applying for the shares of a particular company, at that time there will be an agreement between these two, in which the agreement is in the form of a form, that is prescribed or specimen form given by a company, in which each and everything along with a particular guarantee by a shareholder is given. And if the shareholder signs that particular share application form, then he or she is readily agree with all the terms and conditions of the company. So first point is says that share allotment is a contract between a shareholder and the company, in which company states all the necessary requirements and circumstances, that in case if more number of applications will be received, then the pro rata allotment will be undertaken, and company does not give any kind of guarantee in any point of time regarding the compulsory allotment of shares, because it is depend on the number of applications received. Such contract can be called a valid contract only. Now there are two types of contract. First one is a valid and second one is a void. In a valid contract, all the terms related to the contract will be fulfilled by both the parties, that is by the company, and second one is by the shareholders. So it calls a valid contract only when all essential elements which are required for a valid contract are present. So in that case, all the essential requirement for all the provisions, all the required data and information should be fulfilled by both the company and shareholder itself. Any allotment made in absence of such element is considered illegal. So if any of the party misleads, misdirects or hiding some of the information from the another party, then whole the process becomes illegal. So in irregular share, they are not fulfilling the procedure, but here in this illegal share allotment, any of the party, either it is a shareholder or it is a company, is either misguide, mislead or not providing a sufficient information which is necessary for the contract between two parties, then it is considered illegal. Now share allotment is considered illegal from the beginning in the following elements are absent. Now in any of the contract, if you are studied the Indian Contract Act, then you come to know that there are so many things associated with that is two parties. First one is the company and second one is the shareholder. Second one is there are some kind of agreement between them two. Third one is the consideration that some kind of return process is there where the company is providing some kind of benefit to the shareholders, or by investing money in the company, the investor or shareholder is able or he will be entitled to get some kind of benefit. And there are so many different kinds of elements of the contract are associated whenever any of the contract takes place, whether it is the contract of this share allotment or insurance contract or contract of any kind of goods and service providing. So the same kind of elements is also attracted in the case of the agreement or the contract between the company and shareholder. So first of all, in point A, they discussed that when it is a contract between a shareholder and a company, such contract can be a valid contract. It becomes valid only when all the elements of the contract are fulfilled by both the parties. So it becomes a valid, and for a required for a valid contract are present. Any allotment made in absence of such element, if from the company side allotment is done in the absence of any of the element which is described in the contract act, then it becomes illegal. So it results into a fraud with a particular shareholder. That's why the fraud is considered as an illegal share allotment. Share allotment is considered illegal from the beginning. It means from the starting phase. See, the irregular share allotment can done at any stage of the allotment, but share illegal or illegal share allotment is done from the starting phase if the following elements are absent. If any of the element which is given here, which are basically from the elements of the contract act, if any one element is absent from the given four element, then the whole process of the share allotment becomes illegal. Now let us discuss in that the first one is offer. The applicant who wants to become a shareholder must have applied to the company for purchase of shares. Such application is called an offer. Basically in contract there should be two parties. One party is the offerer who is offering some kind of benefit to other party, and another party is the offeree who is receiving this kind of offer from a party. Now there is two elements. First one is a offer and second one is a acceptance of offer. Both these things is required. Now here in the case when the shareholder wants to invest in a company, compulsorily the shareholder has to become compliant with the terms and conditions which are prescribed in the form. Basically nowadays this contract is taken by the way of form filling by the investor. As in the ESBA process, you have to sign one or two different columns which shows your bank account detail, your demat account detail, and amount to be debited from your bank account. So here first one is the offer. The applicant who wants to become a shareholder must have applied to the company for purchase of shares. If in any case in future course of time, if there is some kind of dispute between the shareholder and the company is there, then at that time the shareholder has to submit the proof of the application. Basically whenever you are submitting your application with a specific bank or a specific sub-broker, then at that time they are giving you the acknowledgement, which is the receipt of acceptance of your form. So here in this case the offer is done by the applicant, means applicant offer himself as an investor in a company and he is ready with the terms and conditions given by a company. So the applicant who wants to become a shareholder must have applied to the company for purchase of shares. It means he has filled up the share application form, and such application is called an offer. So this time the offer is given by a shareholder to become a member of a company. Now the first thing is over. If any of the shareholder is not submitting the offer to the company, then he is not liable to sue company in any of the court of the law, because the first element of the contract is absent over here. Second one is the acceptance of offer. Once the investor is offering himself as an investor, at the same time the company should accept that particular investor as a member of a company or as a legal offerer. It is necessary that the company must accept the offer. If company is not accepting the offer, then there is no contract, because these are the basic two terms, that is offer and acceptance is associated with each and every contract. So in any of the circumstances, these two elements is utmost necessary. So it is necessary that the company must accept the offer. When direction pass a resolution for share allotment, the offer is said to be accepted by the company. When you are submitting your share application form into the bank or any sub-broker, it is not acceptance. When that share application form is submitted to the syndicate members for the further processing, then also it is not an acceptance. But when the registrar of share application makes a list and this list is presented against the board of directors for the approval, and when the board of directors approve the list of the share applications, at that time the company has accepted the application or offer given by a particular shareholder. So it is necessary that the company must accept the offer. When director pass a resolution for share allotment, once they receive the list, then they pass a resolution for share allotment according to the final list of the share applicants. Then the offer is said to be accepted by the company. At that time, that particular offer of the shareholder will be accepted. Third point, informing the acceptance of offer. This is also one of the important elements, because from first party's end, that is from the shareholder's end, he has done all the procedure, that he made an offer with the company. But how do he or she knows that whether the offer is accepted by particular company or not? So the third point is informing the acceptance of offer. The company must inform shareholders about the acceptance of applications. When an allotment letter is sent to the applicant by the company, it is said that acceptance of the offer has been informed. Now, in the case of share allotment, if the particular shareholder is receiving the shares by the way of share allotment process, it means he is lucky to get the shares. Then at that time, the company must inform shareholders about the acceptance of application. At that time, it is obvious that nowadays, through depository, the company is informing the shareholder that number of shares, blank number of shares of so and so company is deposited in your demat account number so and so. So it is the information, or the informing the acceptance is of offer. When an allotment letter is sent to the applicant by the company, nowadays these things has become a green channel. So nowadays, through either SMS or through email, they are informing the shareholders about their acceptance of offer. So once the share is allotted and allotment letter is done, in this particular situation, if your application is accepted by the director and share is allotted to you, then in that particular share allotment letter, these things will be written clearly. But if you are unable to receive the share, then also through that particular share allotment letter, you will be able to understand that zero number of shares allotted to you, or unfortunately you are not able to receive any of the shares. It is said that acceptance of offer has been informed. Last and fourth point is a consideration. Consideration means remuneration, means return. Consideration is said to be paid when the amount specified against allotment paid by the applicant. Now in SBA process, initially when we are applying for the shares, at that time the amount is blocked into the bank account of that particular shareholder only. But once when this whole process is ended, then that particular amount will be debited from the bank account of the applicant and it should be credited in the escrow account of the company. At that time, the consideration offered by a shareholder is received by a company, and all these four elements fulfill the basic terms of the contract. And if any of the element from this mentioned 4 points is absent, then it becomes illegal share allotment. I hope you understood and got all these points. So we are concluding today's session over here with the point number A only. From point number B onwards we will discuss in next lecture, that is in lecture number 6. I hope you got all these things very clearly and you understood all these points very easily. If not, please go through once again. Please read all these things once again so you will be able to understand it more clearly. And if in any point of time you require my guidance, then please feel free to ask. Today's homework, you have to write down the meaning and circumstances of irregular share allotment up to the end of the effect of irregular share allotment, or up to point number 1.4.3, means the part of irregular share allotment only. And please omit all this illegal share allotment because it is in the running phase. So we will discuss about it in the next lecture, and then we will give it as a homework. I will give it as a homework. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.